Right, let's go to some questions. Okay, Peter, who's on the Real Vision website. Now we've had time to read the XRP case. What do you think this now means for other coins named as securities by the SEC?
It significantly weakens the arguments against those other coins. I think you have to look into the specifics of XRP. So I think they said the institutional sales actually did offend securities laws, but the programmatic sales didn't. So you have to look at the way that other coins did their ICOs or did their sales. And I think potentially some coins that did ICOs maybe still violates SEC laws. But as a whole, for example, ETH, which was in that bucket earlier, ETH is fine. ETH will be fine as a result of it. So I think it will have a knock-on effect to other coins. I think you should see other altcoins that got beaten up because of this bounce back. But the real smart trade, to be honest with you, is to look into the exact language of this ruling and find out which coins it applies to where they're clear and which coins it applies to where they're not clear. And if you want to be really creative, you can put on that spread trade or whatever. But I think that's what you should be doing.
Okay, next question. Jorge or George on the Real Vision website. GM, great fan. For those of us who are well positioned already, please some thoughts on how to exit so that we don't eat another. My third bear market. So my view on this is I don't think you should exit. And I've gone through the maths of exiting versus not exiting. And I always find exiting is actually suboptimal, but people don't like it. I'm so used to the drawdown. I don't care. But what do you think about exits? We talked a bit about scaling out.
Yeah, my view on exits is there should be more to do with your personal life and personal goals and ambitions in terms of the money than whether you think it's going to go up or down. If you're like, I want to buy a house, when you make that money to reach that goal, you should sell it. Even if you think it's going to go high, you should sell it because you're achieving that goal. If you have kids that you want to put through school, whatever it is. And
money can't be the goal. Life is the goal itself.
Life is the goal, yeah. And that's how I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, maybe one day my wife and I want to have kids, we want to buy a house. Like when I get to that stage, like that's what I'll want to take profits on. And so I've set myself price targets in my head where I'll sell 10%, here's where I'll sell 20%. And then once you set yourself those targets, you have to stick to them. You have to stick to the plan. Like when it gets to your sell target, you can't just be like, oh, I think it's going high, so I'm not going to sell now. Like
it's classic.
Yeah. Classic. That's not the reason why you set it. You set it to, avoid because you wanted that money out. And I think that's the way you have to start thinking about, like, figure out how much money you want to make or take out to achieve whatever in real life goals you want to achieve, and then back solve for what percentage you need to sell at each level. And then the main thing is write it down on a piece of paper and stick to the plan. Like, don't deviate from it, no matter what happens.
I think that's right. And if your goal, the cost of your goal is less than the total capital you've got in space, you can ride the rest because you've essentially taken profits. What you've done is banked it into lifestyle, and you can go again without the fear of. The hard thing is thinking you're about to buy a new house and then suddenly you can't afford to, because what you've done is crushed your kind of image of your future self that you promise yourself.
Yeah,
that's really hard to deal with. The P&L going up and down is much easier than that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the right way to do it.